Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Dusty Trails and Drone Tales. I'm Dan, your host, and we're still in the middle of winter here in southwestern New Brunswick. So thought I'd do a little ride today to show you what's open and what's not if you wanted to do some winter riding in this area down here in Charlotte County. So today we're going to explore some trails that are open and groomed from the Charlotte County ATV Club and the Musquash ATV Club. So we'll head out Trail 46, take that up to lepro, head up 7 Mile Lake Road, which is Trail 3807, cut across Trail 3804 to the Musquash ATV Club shelter, and then do a combination of trails 3805, 3806, and then back on Trail 46 all the way to St. George. So we hope you will come along with us for the drive today and stay tuned and see where we end up and if we get stuck or not. Started our day here just up the road from my house. You would have seen this before in a past video. This is the Manor Road. We made some coverage here back when ATVing first became legal through the town of St. George. So in case you didn't see that video, I'll kind of do a quick recap here. So basically the town of St. George, Main Street is Trail 46, which you can stay on that if you're coming from St. John, or if you're just starting out on the old St. Andrews Road, you'll hit the Manor Road Connector Road, which goes over the highway. So right now we're on Manor Road, and this is going to take us into the town of St. George. So once we get to the intersection here where you need to turn, I'll show you that here in a minute. So today it's just me riding solo. Co-pilot Doug is at home this weekend, and my wife, she's got a work trip coming up this week, so she just wants to stay home and relax, so it is just me. So now we're just coming up on the Manor Road Connector Road. We're going to hang her right here. Everything is very well signed through here, so you won't have any troubles getting to where you're going. So we go through here, we'll come to Brunswick Street in St. George, which eventually turns into Main Street. So you go right through town, just follow the signs if you've not been in the area before. And like I say, this is all road legal. The stipulations are that ATVs have a maximum of 40 kilometers an hour through town. You have to wear your helmet, you have to have a trail pass and insurance, and to be legal for the trails here, you have to have at least a right-hand side rear-view mirror, which we have all those requirements. We're insured, we've got rear-view mirrors, insurance, trail pass, the whole 9 yards. We did get some snow early this morning. It's still snowing a little bit, ever so slightly right now. So we may get a little bit of drifting. The wind's picking up a little bit. So a couple of problem areas to be aware of are around the blueberry fields and airstrip in Penfield. That tends to drift over quite a bit. So now we're just coming up on Brunswick Street in St. George, and I'll bring you along for the ride here through St. George in case you didn't see that last video. Just so you'll know where you can go in town, what's accessible, what's not. All the businesses are ATV friendly. And I do see some traffic, ATV traffic, as I drive by sometimes in some of the local businesses, which is great. So right here on our left, if you're coming from St. George, is the Birch Grove Motel and Restaurant. Very popular spot, excellent seafood. Really generous portions if you have a big appetite, and really, really good pies as well. And they are open 7 days a week. If you want to get here early, I suggest getting here by 5 o'clock, because I'm pretty sure that they close at 6 every day. And they're, I believe, open for breakfast as well. Also up here on our left, or if you're coming from St. John, or through St. George from the St. John end, is Vance's Auto Supplies. They're open Monday to Saturday. So if you are in need of some parts or whatnot, they do stock ATV parts here in town. Also up here on our left is the St. George Mall. There's a dollar store in there, so if you need some quick snacks or whatnot, you can hop in there. Also in the St. George Mall here is the independent grocer. The independent grocer has pizzas for sale as well. They make them in store. Really great price. I think it's 10 by 24 pizza. It's anywhere from $15 to $18 depending on what you get put on it. They also have sandwiches and salads and things like that. So, you know, if you're not in the mood or have the time for a takedown or a sit-down meal, you can pop into the independent grocer there. So this is still Brunswick Street here. And just around this corner, we're going to come up on the intersection with Main Street. We'll turn left onto Main. Again, everything's very well signed. Just follow the signs. You can't get lost. This is my winter home base. I live in the area, so you know you're getting a local guide here. Up here on the left or right, if you're coming from St. John, the blue building is Pete's Dairy Bar. Open only during the summers, usually till about Labor Day weekend from around the May long weekend. Really good ice cream there. And up here on the left in this bright blue building is Pub on Main. Very good food there as well. I usually see some bikes parked across the street in the parking lot. And another good sit-down place that is trail accessible. So we're just going to carry on here on Main Street for a short little jaunt. Until we get to the part of Trail 46 that connects through to go to lepro and St. John. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to stay mainly on Trail 46. We're going to take that all the way to lepro. It is groomed this time of year, and on the Charlotte County ATV Club Facebook page, the groomers have been out. They've been at it hard all week. So we'll see how well the trails have fared with last night's snow. It was just a light snow. We got maybe an inch or two, and it's just supposed to snow off and on all day today. So when we get a little further down the road, we'll pick you up there again. So right here at this junction, Trail 46, if you're coming from St. John, you'll hang a left. That will take you up to Uncle Main's Convenience, where you can get gas, and they also have takeout food there with a little sit-down area if you would like to eat. So now we're still on Trail 46, heading towards Musquash / St. John area, lepro. So parts of Trail 46 were actually an old rail bed, so the trails are usually pretty good through here. And as you can see, the trails have been groomed. One common courtesy to do, though, when you are riding groomed trails in the winter is please don't run in two-wheel drive, because all that does is makes ruts and ruins the experience for a lot of other people. now we're just coming up on the intersection of Trail 46 and Route 785. Again, I'm coming from St. George, so if you're coming from St. John, the directions will be backwards. So if you hang a right here, or left if you're coming from St. John, off of Trail 46, this little piece of trail, or road, I should say, is got a shared use permit on it so that you can get to the Lake Utopia store if you ever need gas. So if you don't quite have enough gas to make it into St. George, there's a gas stop there. Or I believe, and I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, that if you want to start from St. George and don't want to start all the way in the town, that you can park there at the lake store and also head out from there. So right now, as I said earlier, this is still Trail 46. We're basically right in the backyard of Lake Utopia Paper. And judging by the fresh tracks of the snow, I would say that the trail was groomed probably this morning. It just looks to have very little to no snow on the groomer tracks after having received some snow last night. So it's been a challenge grooming trails this winter, because when we actually did start getting snow, all the snow we received so far to date has been light fluffy snow, which doesn't really pack very well. So a few days ago we did have some wet heavy snow that the groomers went out after, but the snow base underneath that they've been grooming has been light fluffy snow all along. So the trails aren't as hard packed as they would normally be this time of year, but either way it's still pretty good going. Okay, so we're coming up on the Penfield Blueberry Fields. Looks like the groomer was out earlier this morning, but again, we do have blowing snow today, so it's kind of hard to tell that they have been out. I did see a few machines got stuck in this area recently, so we're just going to plow our way through here, through the drifts, and hope for the best. It's really not a lot to winch on out here, unless you've got a mile-long winch cable. But they're doing their best to try and keep this open. So basically, we're just going to stay through the tire tracks and carry on as best we can. Wow, this looks like there was a fairly decent-sized drift that they moved and piled some snow here earlier this week. Oh yeah, we're getting into the deep stuff now. Just kind of following tire tracks, which kind of take us all over the place, but we're getting through her just fine. Okay, so we made it through the blueberry fields without issue. We're still going to continue on Trail 46 here, which is the partly rail bed, but right now we've just hit the old St. John Road. Now, if you are so inclined and you want to do some road running, it's all gravel road under here. Not condoning this in any way, but if you continue on straight through here, you'll bypass a lot of Trail 18 and you'll come out on the other end of it. But it's not plowed this time of year, nor is it groomed, so we're going to stay off of that. Just trying to basically stay where the traffic goes in case we do have an issue or get stuck or something. Made it through the problem areas so far. All I did was just keep my speed up to just kind of keep pushing through the drifts. So now we're coming out into a residential area here, which is McKay Loop Road in Penfield. Now if you do continue down to the right along McKay Loop Road, if you're coming from St. George, that is, you'll end up at the Highway Good Walk Chinese restaurant, which is pretty good as well. Right here, where this is the work yard for McKay's Wild Blueberries in Penfield. So now we're going to continue on McKay Loop Road or Trail 46 overlaps onto McKay Loop Road. So we're going to continue up here for about a kilometer or two and then branch off the McKay Loop Road back onto Trail 46 again. Okay, so McKay Loop Road just behind us had veered off to the right, so we continued straight onto Dunbar Road, and not even half a kilometer up the Dunbar Road is the left turn for Trail 46 to head towards Musquash. So we made that left turn there, and still on Trail 46. So today we're going to take you mostly on Trails 46, 3806 and 3807. 3807 is the 7 Mile Lake Road, which is a branch off of Trail 46, which goes up to 7 Mile Lake. 3806 will loop back down to Trail 46 on the old St. John Road, and that'll take us past the Musquash ATV Club shelter. Okay, so we're just coming up on the Charlotte County ATV Club shelter. If you're looking for a little spot for a break to stop and have a snack or something, or stop to pee, there is a portable toilet here. And usually this time of year or in the colder season, somebody's got a fire going. But if not, the shelter is well stocked with firewood, and you can throw on a fire and get warmed up if you're on an open machine especially. And just have a little pit stop right here, right off of Trail 46. So right now we're coming up on our first jaunt on the old St. John Road. So again, I'm coming from St. George. If I'd hang a left here, I'd basically continue on the old St. John Road back towards St. George, where we came out on Trail 46. So remember I said earlier, if we kept on going straight instead of hanging right on that Trail 46, don't forget, directions are all reversed coming from St. John, that we would end up back in the same spot. So here we are, St. John Road, so old St. John Road. So we're going to hang a right here and carry on towards Musquash and lepro, and we're going to come out on a plowed section here very shortly. Now if we would have hung a left back there, we would probably been up the creek without a paddle at some point. You don't want to be in Shit Creek without a paddle, because if we got stuck, chances are there wouldn't be much traffic coming along to find us. And flying solo today, so we're sticking to the groomed trails and the managed trail system. Once again, not saying do it, but it is a good shortcut to and from St. George. If you're down this way, you'll lop off probably 15-20 minutes if you're in a hurry. So you can go that way. I've seen other bikes go that way. Again, it's at your own risk. If you do come into some trouble, don't say we didn't warn you, but a lot of us have taken that risk before and have done it successfully. So here we are, Old St. John Road for a little bit, and then we're gonna hang a left up here. I think, if I remember right, it's a left. Like I said, I live down here. I just follow the signs still, because I haven't done these trails a whole great ton, but I can still get to where I need to go without relying on the maps. So we're getting ready to make our left turn here off of our first legal section of Trail 46, or on the St. John Road. And it looks like this area here has not been groomed. So we're going to carry on anyway, because we got some good tracks to follow. And this is going to link up with the rail bed again. So, we can I think we can still get through here just fine. We've got a short little section here to go through off of the St. John Road, and then we'll get back on the St. John Road again. And a tight turn. And we're on. So again, we're back on the rail bed. I would, if I was to hazard a guess, I would say the reason why we don't carry on the rail bed the whole way through and end up on Old St. John Road instead is that we've crossed a couple of bodies of water. I'm not sure the names of them, but the road bridges are there, and the old rail bridges would have been long gone many, many years ago. So, making do with the best alternative we have. So we're going to carry on through here and then pick up the Old St. John Road again. Okay, so back on the Old St. John Road again, and that is the end of the Charlotte County ATV Club's jurisdiction. So now we're going to enter the Musquash ATV Club jurisdiction. And I know they had some groomer issues, so we'll see how well the trails are groomed. Oh yeah, they've been out. We're all set. So just up ahead here is a junction. We're going to continue straight on trail 30 or on trail 46, but off to the left is trail 3806, which we're going to come back down on our way back, returning from the 7 Mile Lake Road. So we're almost to lepro. We've made it almost all the way through, so we're going to pick you up again in lepro. welcome to lepro. And what we're going to do here is we are going to cross what's left of the old number 1 highway. I used to go to St. John from St. Stephen before the new 4-lane was put in, and we're still on some rail bed here. We're just about done with Trail 46 for now. Definitely done with the 46 part taking us to lepro, and so we're going to just carry on through here, get into lepro, and then make a couple of zigzags here and there. And then next thing you know, before we know it, we'll be on Trail 3807, which is 7 Mile Lake Road. We're still in the purview of the Musquash ATV Club. Now, I know I've been in the habit recently of recording GPX files of the run. Kind of decided to do this one last minute, so I can kind of lazing around the house this morning, and do I go, don't I go? And around 1 o'clock, I finally decided to go. So in my haste in trying to get out and try and get back at a reasonable hour, somewhat before dark, I forgot to hit record and ride command. So there will be no GPX file of today's run, folks. Now we are going to cross Route 790 as part of Trail 46. This is the route that takes you down to Point lepro Nuclear Generating Station. If we hang a left and not do it legally, we can just shortcut our way to Trail 3807, 7 Mile Lake Road, but we're not going to do that today. So we're just going to carry on with Trail 4086, and this is my first time doing these trails in the winter. I've lived down here for 11 years now. No, more than that. 13 years, but recently just got back into ATVing. You've seen a couple videos in this area so far that I've done where I've done these trails in sort of spring, summerish, but never in winter. So I wanted to at least get out for the first time and see, what the trails are like in the winter. And so far, so good. The club's been doing a great job. Okay, so we're just coming up here on the junction of Trail 46 and 3807, which is going to turn into the 7 Mile Lake Road. So if we would have hung a right there, we would have ended up in Musquash. Now you can cross the highway in Musquash and run the old rail bed up to Prince of Wales to join the trail that'll take you into Laurenville. There's also a trail that offshoots up into Grand Bay. I believe they call that the Queen's Trail. We're not going that far today, but yeah, so we're going to take Trail 3807 all the way to Trail 3806 right at the Musquash ATV Club shelter. And so we'll give you some key points here along the way as we go. Okay, still on Trail 3807 here. Now, remember when I said if we would have come up to Route 785, when we came up to Route 785, I should say, and we would have hung a left, we could have just ran up the road to Trail 3807. Well, this is where we would have ended up, and we would have ended up here on Trail 3807. So Trail 3807 is an Irving road, I believe. It's marked with all the typical Irving mileage markers and whatnot. And this one is another trail that is open for the winter or year-round 4-season use. Looks like it hasn't seen any grooming in a while, but it's fairly well beaten down, so we shouldn't have any issues getting through. So it's a pretty straight road. During the summer, you can really cruise along here. Like really 70, 80 kilometers an hour is not out of the question. Today we're, kind of pushing through a little bit of snow, so, we're more like 45, 50 kilometers an hour, but the road is fairly straight, nice and wide, lots of room to meet opposing traffic. So, if you really like feeding her the onions and opening her up a bit, then this is a good trail for you. Okay, so we're up about 12 kilometers on the 7 Mile Lake Road. So now we're going to hang a left onto Trail 3804, which is going to take us to 3806. This is the pretty much the winter loop that you can do around here in the area. So 3804 that we're on now is going to go by the Musquash ATV Club shelter. We're still in the Musquash zone. So in the summertime, this trail tends to be fairly lumpy and rocky, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like this time of year. Again, the Musquash ATV Club groomer had some issues. This trail is marked as open during the winter, so It looks like the groomer hasn't passed here in a while, but other machines have been through, so we're just, following the ruts through the snow and making our way through, just trying to keep our speed up so that, we don't run into an unfortunate situation. But even as trying as hard as we may, that could still happen. So either way, we're going to carry on through here on Trail 3804 on the Musquash ATV Club Shelter Trail and end up at the Musquash ATV Club Shelter. Okay, folks, here we are at the Musquash ATV Club Shelter. So we're just going to stop here, have a little break. I'll take you in and show you what's involved in the shelter. And I might have alluded to earlier that the trail we were going to go home is Trail 3805, which is incorrect. So Trail 3805, if you hang a right here, you'll end up towards Mosquito Lake, and then there's a trail you can loop around off of the Mosquito Lake Trail, which is 3806, which will take you around the other side of Little Pug Hole. So we're going to take 3805 all the way back down to... We're going to take 3805 down until it meets 3806, because 3806 loops around Little Pug Hole, comes back out to the 3805. So where it meets the 3805, 3806 takes over. So let's go take a look inside of the shelter and see what's going on. There's nobody here. I'm the only one. So we'll show you what the shelter is. Said earlier, we just came off of Trail 3804 and we're at Trail 3805. We're going to take 3805 home, back to Trail 46. So let's go inside the shelter and I'll show you guys inside. Looks like somebody has been here today. There's an outhouse out back there if you need to relieve yourself. And in we go. So they've got a wood stove in here, some fire starting materials, wood outside. Somebody's left some ketchup behind in case you want to have a hot dog or something. And first aid kit. And I have signed this before, but if you're coming through the area, you might as well sign the Musquash ATV Club logbook to say you've been here. So we just hung a left on Trail 3805, making our way back towards St. George. If we would have hung a right there, like I said earlier, we would have ended up around Mosquito Lake. but I would say that part is not open during the winter because there are absolutely zero tracks up there. And if you go past Mosquito Lake, and I did this last fall with a group of friends, we didn't get an episode for that one, but it gets really, really narrow and goat pathish. So probably best that it's closed in winter. I don't think the groomer could fit through there. And now that we're on 3805, looks like the groomer has been here recently, so it's not as ruddy or snowed in as 3804 was. But 3804, all in all, wasn't bad at all. So right here is the intersection of Trail 3805 and 3806. So 3806 goes up and around Little Pug Hole. We're just south of Little Pug Hole here now. And like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't look like anybody's been there this winter. And there is a warning in the Quad 8 NB app that there's a washout. It's passable, but to use caution. So now we've just basically wrapped up that little section of 3805, and now we're on Trail 3806, which is going to take us back down to Trail 46 near the old St. John Road. Okay, so this is going to wrap up our little stint on Trail 3806. Or not. So what we can do is we can hang a right here on Old St. John Road, or we can continue straight, hang a right, and end up back on Old St. John Road. So let's go back down to the intersection so that we can give you a full loop on the trail. But really it's like 500 meters-ish back to the trail, or back to the Old St. John Road when you get down here to the trail. So what we'll do, we stopped here earlier on the way up. Trail 46 is crossing here. So we're going to hang a right and head back towards St. George. And judging by the tire tracks and the tread pattern, doesn't look like anybody's been here today since I was earlier. So, see what I mean? It was just a little short, less than 500 meters, and we're back to Trail 46 on the St. John Road part. So we're going to go up here, and then we're going to turn back off onto the trail. So here's where we're going to get back on the trail portion of 46, and a bit of a hill here to climb. But we made it. This little section of 46 before it goes back onto the Old St. John Road again hasn't been groomed. We're back in the Charlotte County ATV Club section here, but we made it through coming up just fine, so we're just going to head right back through here again. And it looks like my tracks from earlier have drifted in. breeze must have really picked up in the last hour to fill in these tracks. And it doesn't take much snow blowing across an open field to fill everything in. But we'll make it through. I'm pretty confident. So that wrapped up our stint on the paved portion of the Old St. John Road. This is the gravel portion here now. And Trail 46 veers off, Trail 46 veers off to the left. Old St. John Road continues straight. Now, do we take 46 or do we take Old St. John Road? Stay tuned to find out which way we go. Update. We're not on Trail 46. We're on the shortcut back to St. George, which is the Old St. John Road. And when I evaluated it on the way up, it didn't look like it might have been passable or what have you, but it looks like a groomer may have made a pass through here, or somebody with a plow trying to access a property or something. So, it's been a while since it's been done, and it's been a while since anybody's been through here, but so far it's actually fairly decent going. I wasn't expecting that. Last year in the middle of a snowstorm, before I started the channel, I did come through here with the razor and nothing had been done with the road, and we made it through just fine. So figured, why not? Let's give it a shot. So let's carry on and see how we make out, shall we?
A storm woke me this morning, thunder in my head. I haven't felt this bad since I don't know when. The mirror is telling me to go on back to bed. I guess I might just blame it on the weather and the wine. I stayed up late drinking, thinking about that night. We started out with romance, but ended in a fight. She drove away in the rain, saying no one was to blame, but that can't be right. It must have been the weather and the wine. Our first date in the park, summer sun was shining bright. A picnic in the grass, she brought wine coolers on ice. We were blind enough to trust in love at first sight. Or was it just the weather and the wine? Now the clouds are gray and heavy, and the cold has come to stay. My friends have been saying I don't look so good these days. I can't bring myself to tell them it's the tears I've been crying, so I blame it on the weather and the wine. I'll blame it on the weather. Blame it on the weather. I'll blame it on the weather and the wine.
And just like that, we're back at Trail 46 again. And I would say that saved a good 15 minutes over coming back through the other way, the way we went up. So that actually was some of the best going I've had all day. It's definitely a less traveled route. I was surprised to see a groomer or something had passed through it, because I didn't think it would be done. But being a less traveled route, it actually suffered a lot less of the ills that the heavily traveled groom trails seem to be suffering from this year, and that's ruts. And no fault of the clubs. the volunteers are doing what they can with what they got. And this year, all we've got is a bunch of light powdery snow. So that was actually pretty easy to power through. So basically now we're on the home stretch to St. George. And we'll take you along and wrap it up when we get home. Okay, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Dusty Trails and Drone Tales. So we basically did a little loop from St. George out to lepro, up to the Musquash shelter, and back again just to show you what's open and what's groomed this time of year. So if you're looking for a different area to come in the winter to do a nice little run, by all means come down to St. George. So until the next time, friends, may your trails always be snow dusty like this time of year, and your drones stay airborne. And until the next time, keep it rubber side down.